Not just my fiance anymore. We've got my wife with us. We're gonna be talking about sex.
Okay.
Um, she's like, whatever, bro. You haven't even said I love you yet. I don't know what that's
I
about.
was like, I don't know what that's about. Yeah, I did. I did. I said it so sassy too, because I was like, this fool, he loved me so. Men don't consider the cost of loving somebody, and they share feelings of love that have are not related to action,
Yeah.
just related to what their heart feels.
Yeah, yeah. You can feel love, but not decide love.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's good.
I didn't want to ever tell her I loved her because I felt that way for her
Mm-hmm.
without backing it up with a decision. Just because you're dating someone with the intent of marriage doesn't mean every dating relationship will end in marriage,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's a really
So,
somber truth. It's really hard.
yeah, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I think
What is up, everyone? We are back with another episode of Shaping the Culture. Shaping the Code.
What is up, everyone? We are back with another episode of Shaping the Culture podcast. Hope all is well with you all, family. Listen, we're back. I've been gone for like a month and a half.
yeah, you have.
It's been a while, but for justifiable reasons.
Thank you.
We got married, left hand gang.
Hey.
We in here. And the last 3 weeks being married has been bliss. This has been such a good time. We've been eating good, sleeping good,
Yeah.
getting to know each other, settling into our new place.
Yep.
But it's time to get back to the real world, time to get back to work. And
Yep.
I have personally really missed podcasting,
Yeah, for sure. I
She's-
think you missed it immediately.
immediately.
Yeah.
A day or two after our wedding, I was like, I can't wait to go back to podcasting.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to finally be here, and I'm here with the Mrs.
Ooh,
Fan
Mrs.
favorite. I know, not just my fiance
That's
anymore. We've got my wife with us.
Crazy.
She's loving my life.
Aww.
She has my heart. She stole my heart, took my heart,
Okay.
and she never gave it back.
All right.
We got the one and only
Mm.
Ida Lagessa with us. What's cracking?
Ooh.
What's cracking lacking?
It's fun to be back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. I'm still getting used to podcasting.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? It's like your bread and butter, but I think I'm still getting used to talking on camera.
I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it. So today's episode is something I'm excited to talk about.
Yeah.
We have so many stories, and we've been waiting for the right moment to share them,
Yeah.
dissect them, and like unpack them. And today is going to be one of those days. So today, for those who don't know, you probably figured it out by looking at the title and the thumbnail. We are going to be talking about sex.
Okay. He did that on purpose. He did it on purpose to get a reaction out of me. I reacted, but calmly, because I realized I got on camera. Get out.
I've been planning that for a while.
I know. I'm sure.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
might be talking about our first time.
Keeps going.
I'm just kidding.
Funny guy.
We're not gonna be talking
Yeah.
about sex.
Nope.
Not yet. We're gonna be talking
Mm-hmm.
about what it looks like to guard your heart in the dating season. So let me preface this episode by saying we've been married 5 minutes.
Literally.
And so we
I
have
have no marriage advice.
We have no marriage advice for y'all. We don't plan on
Nope.
coming on here talking about how to be a husband, how to be a wife.
Right. What does it mean to submit?
What is
Headship.
Headship, submission, none of that. Right now, give us some time. Let us settle in. There are people who've been married in the faith a lot longer than us,
That you
a lot
should
more
follow.
wiser than us, that you should follow. We figured it'd be wise and fun to continue talking about what our dating relationship was like, and the things we learned, and all the things that got us to this point. And so that's what we want to hone in on. The reason why we want to talk about this topic is because just through conversations with friends, people at church, we realize like we don't really talk enough about what it looks like to guard your heart in the dating season. You know, the Bible talks about guarding your heart from it flows life, but no one actually unpacks what that means and how that flushes itself out in a dating relationship. And so we wanted to talk about our experiences and how we kind of made sense of that, how we walked in that, and how we navigated that in our dating
era. Yeah. I feel like it's I think in part it's a continuation from our like Meet My Fiance, I think, podcast. We kind of did a timeline series about how we came to date or came to the point of dating. And so we had promised kind of a part 2 about our dating experience, but then, you know, engagement, wedding planning a move, all of that kind of got in the way. So we didn't want to like jump into marriage content, you know, without first acknowledging that we did date, you know, and we probably dated for longer than I think people thought we did.
That's actually, let's talk about it, because I keep seeing in the comment section, and we've been talked to in real life about how people thought we dated for like 3 months and then we got married.
And I think it's just like at the point that they found out is when they thought that we started dating, and it's interesting.
That's not how it went down. We dated for a while before I even proposed. It was almost a year of dating before I proposed. I mean, that's relative, I guess. Somebody might be listening, they're like, 11 months is not even that long, you know? But compared to
the narrative, I think it's a substantial difference.
And here's what I think it was. I think part of it was the episode with the Perrys.
Oh, I see.
Because when I went on there, first of all, we shot that maybe like a month or two before it dropped. And the episode was on singleness. And so what people don't know, and the reason why I realized people don't know this is because they didn't stick to the very end of part 2.
Of the Perrys
episode, the singleness episode we did. Because at the end of part 2, Preston actually was just like, yo, Ebenezer is actually not that single. He's dating someone. So when that episode was shot and it was released, we were dating in that season.
We were.
Yeah, we had been dating for like almost 6 months at that point. And so I think because maybe the people didn't stick around long enough. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I guess people didn't, or maybe they did, but they didn't catch it. You know, people are like driving or cooking when they listen to podcast episodes. They don't always catch the little stuff.
Kind of like the ending. But, you know, people tune in late, drop out early. That makes sense.
That makes sense. Maybe people thought,
but like this was not a 90-day fiance situation, and nothing against 90-day fiancés, but that was not our story.
No. We dated for some time, and we had known of each other for some time as well. Not in intimate ways, but like it wasn't like a stranger.
Right, and we had character references, so it was not like a stranger. Exactly.
For sure. So, but I want to kind of get into a story to kind of launch us into the topic for today.
Yeah.
We were dating for maybe 3 months.
3 months?
3-4 months. When did we go to San Diego?
Yeah, maybe like 4 months.
Yeah, we were 4 months in. No, this was it was 4 or 5 months in actually. And you know, I had met Ida's cousins. You know, we had a trip planned for her to meet my parents the following month. So we were in it for some time at this point, and we took a day trip to San Diego. And on the drive back from San Diego, we started talking about our timelines, which is a whole nother conversation for another day, because we're both in our 30s. We both know who we are, what we wanted, and how we knew how intentional we were in this relationship. And we knew how intentional we were just in relationships at large. We didn't want to waste our time, each other's time. And so on the drive back, we wanted to make sure even though we were both intentional, we wanted to make sure our timelines aligned. So she was like, when do you plan on proposing? And after you propose, how long do you think before getting married? And you know, are we gonna live in Minnesota? Are we gonna live in LA? You know, like we were having
Like
those
the big questions, right? Yeah, you're just like, so now what? You know? Yeah.
And I, for those who may or may not know, like to poke fun at Ida. You know, I like to like press her buttons because I get a reaction from her every single time, literally every time. So I was throwing some wild numbers out. I was like, maybe I'll like propose in like a year and a half, and then we get married 2 years after that.
I think you said even longer.
Yeah,
things.
you're like 2 years. Like you were like you really thought I was serious. You were not having it.
I wasn't.
And
I was like, for what? So boring. Dating for that long? I'm like, my goodness.
Yeah, like what else do we need to see? Yeah. And out of her frustration, this is before she knew I was joking around, of course. Out of her frustration, she's like, whatever, bro. You haven't even said I love you yet. I don't know what that's about.
I was like, I don't know what that's about. Yeah, I did. I said it so sassy too, because I was like, this fool, he loved me so much. But I knew you were being it's like so evident that you're being so careful.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could just tell you were being so like, you know, I knew there was a why, you know, or there was like an intention.
Did you?
I did, honestly, because you're really measured.
Yeah.
You're really measured in most things, you know what I mean? In that moment, we're just like spitting back and forth, you know, but like I knew, you know, and I wouldn't have brought it up, I feel like, until I don't even know when. I think it just kind of fit that moment where we're like going back and forth, and I was like,
It's like, whatever, you haven't even said I love you yet.
I was like, let's get off this topic. Let's not talk about the future then. Focus on the right here and now.
Yeah. And so she said that, and the conversation kind of died after that.
Yeah.
Kind of like, we were also tired. It was like a full day of all the different festivals we had in San Diego. We were driving back, so about an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. And I was kind of like thinking to myself, why haven't I said I love you yet? You know? I thought I knew why, but I wanted to further investigate. I like to challenge myself and ask questions all the time. And so, you know, I was thinking and processing, and I realized, like, well, one, I hadn't said I love you to someone in a really long time, like 10 plus years, you know? So that was that. And then in addition to that, I think, like, in my 30s, I've realized that you can feel love but not decide love. And
that's good.
I didn't want to ever tell her I loved her because I felt that way for her without backing it up with a decision to love her. Because for me, love isn't just, oh, like, you make me feel good. It's like, love is, I choose you when you get on my last nerve. I choose you when it's not favorable to me. I choose you when it comes to as a cost to me. I choose you when I have to exercise a level of patience that I don't want to exercise. Like, I had learned, right? I didn't know this in my 20s, but, you know, you learn, you grow, you evolve, and I think that played to our benefit dating in our 30s. But I had known that, like, I wasn't going to say I love you to Ida until I meant it.
Until you committed to the choice.
I committed to the choice.
Got it.
And so, but to Ida's point, like, I had felt it. I knew it was real. But, you know, like, 4 or 5 months in, I don't think we even had a serious argument at that point. I don't think we had, like, a serious fight. No, we didn't.
Did we?
No, it was like 6 months in where we had our first
argument.
Kaboom. Yeah.
No. Beats me.
And so
moved on.
I also that was a subtle shot. She doesn't think I forgive her.
It's okay. He forgets. He don't forget. He need to work on it.
There's a word in there.
Need to forget.
We're called to forgive. We're not called to forget.
The Lord forgets.
It's
okay.
That's a cultural. Anyways. We hadn't had our first fight for real. So I was like, how am I gonna feel about Ida when we don't see eye to eye? How am I gonna feel about Ida when she does something that, like, gets me in my feelings, offends me, impacts me in a negative way? So I'm, like, processing all these things and thinking through these things. And so on one level, was guarding my heart.
Mm-hmm.
But secondarily, I was also guarding Ida's heart, because I wouldn't want to put her and us in a situation where I would tell her that I loved her, but when the opportunity presented itself for me to prove my love for her, I didn't show up. Because it's easy to love you emotionally, and it's easy to love you when we're like going out to dinner and we're going to the movies and we're visiting friends and we're like going to the beach. I didn't want to create a false sense of like safety. I wanted to know that I truly loved you no matter what, and I was willing to die for you.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody once, I was asking the question to a lot of my friends, pastors, mentors in my singleness, like, how do you know when you found the one? How do you know when you want to commit to someone? And they would tell me, I often got this back, that you don't commit to the person that doesn't hurt you. You don't commit to the person that doesn't get on your nerve.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
You commit to the person who's worth being hurt for. You commit to the person worth dying for. And for me, we hadn't had an opportunity to see if I actually knew, not just with I think I knew in my heart and in my mind, but like with my actions, that you were worth dying for. And so I wanted to protect you and not let you think that I was further along than I actually was.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to set myself up where I feel, because men do this too, where they like tell the women they love them. They're like, I'm with you, but they've got their subtle doubts, they've got their fears, and they jump the gun because they feel pressure. And then now, like, they're not really in it in the way that they've been professing that they're in it.
Yeah.
And then now, like, the woman is expecting the man to show up a certain way, but the man, he actually, like, didn't consider the cost of the words he was professing. And so I didn't want to put us in that situation. And so for that reason, I kind of withheld. How were you processing that?
What you just shared?
Yeah.
I mean,
how are you processing that? Yeah.
I mean, you've shared this with me,
in
after as well too, and I think for me I felt more assured in your, I love you, in the sense that because it's just the level of like time and care and attention you took, and understanding that love is a choice, it's an action, as well as it is a feeling, and it goes to show that you've been in community long enough to see kind of that pattern happen in a lot of relationships, where it's like people express, and it can be both men and women, but specific in correlation to what you're sharing, like where men don't consider the cost of loving somebody, and they share feelings of love that are not related to action, just related to what their heart feels, and the moment it's challenged, or the season that it's challenged, they don't rise to the occasion,
right?
Because it wasn't a thought out choice, right?
Yeah,
and so that can be hard, that can be a really hard experience. I know both men and women have probably been impacted by that. I mean, they have, for sure. And we've seen it, in community with friends, like what a pattern that is of just premature promise.
Exactly. That's real. And so what ended up happening is the same trip, I was still in LA. We just literally 2-3 days later, the timelines are crazy. 2-3 days after that conversation, driving back from San Diego to LA, I get an email from my literary agent telling me that she's wanting to represent me as my literary agent.
Got it.
And so I got an email with the contract that I needed to sign, the agreement that I needed to sign. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to be represented. I think I might get a book deal. Like the feelings were high. And the first person I wanted to tell was Ida. And so I remember waking up to that email, and I knew she was at work, but I immediately like called her, and And I was like, I gotta tell you something. She's like, oh, I'm at work. I was like, do you have a minute? And you're like, okay. I was like, but it has to be FaceTime. You're like, FaceTime? Okay, I need to go to a different room.
Yeah.
And so you FaceTime me once you were settled. And I told you, I still have the screenshot of me telling you, like, yo, I have a literary agent. And just seeing the joy that you had and the excitement that you had for me. And the fact that I wanted to tell you first, and then you were so adamant on wanting to celebrate me. And so after you got off work, you know, you picked me up and we went to downtown to celebrate. And before we left the car, you recorded me signing the contract. And then you were just recording me walking towards the restaurant. It was like we went to this rooftop spot. And you were just... my joy was your joy, and my happiness was your happiness. And I just felt like, okay, I know we haven't gotten to a fight or anything like that, but just seeing how my joy was your joy, I was like, oh yeah, like, this is someone worth dying for.
No.
And so this was like 2-3 days after our trip back from San Diego, and I was like, I need to talk to you about something. And right there on the rooftop, I told her, you know, hey, this is why I've been hesitant to tell you that I love you. It's not that I don't feel it. It's just I want my words to hold weight with you and in this relationship. And I was like, but I want you to know that I do. And then that was the first time, you know, I told you that I loved you. And that was kind of...
and I said it back.
You were so ready.
Was I?
Yeah. I don't want her to say it earlier. She just didn't want to be the first to say it.
Pride.
God's still working on you.
Nah.
She's like, the woman will not say it first.
Not say it first.
That's hilarious.
Making up rules.
For real.
That don't
Like,
exist.
says who?
I know. That's so funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, like, what... before we kind of like jump into like some theology, some verses, some practicality, like, do you have a story of you protecting your heart, protecting my heart? What did that look like for you, and how did that show up in our relationship?
I feel like I think our dating experience was really I mean, he's always involved, but I feel like on my end, I feel like in dating you, this whole season was really carried by the Holy Spirit.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I don't know if I thought about it, you know, other than like me being like, I'm not gonna say it till he says it or whatever. But
Pride.
in regards to just, I feel like how tempered I was throughout the dating experience.
Yeah.
Or I think we kind of chatted about it yesterday, just how present I felt. I didn't feel behind. I didn't feel rushed. I didn't feel in front of you. I didn't feel haste.
Yeah.
There was so much about that experience that felt really in lockstep. And I really want to give credit to the Lord, like, because I don't think there was active thought about it in so much that I felt like I had a lot of assistance, you know, and given, I'm sure part of it has to do with, 100% give him the glory for that. But like, I do think in having dated, you know, before you, I think when you learn the lessons that you need to learn, I feel like once it really resonates, you know, and you make peace, right, with the outcome of other relationships, but also even just taking the time in the past to examine patterns or habits or anything. When those lessons really settle in you and you allow the Lord to like change you, you know, to edify you, to mature you, when the situation shows up, it could be with as much forethought and intention and presence, you know, but I think in addition to that, sometimes you are who you need to be for that season. Yeah.
I love that. I know we, like, when you were sharing that with me yesterday, it turned into like a really deep conversation about what it looks like to be present.
Yes.
And we had talked about how, you know, a lot of the times when we show up in a relationship, and I'm guilty of this too, we're not showing up in the relationship healed and whole. I think sometimes we go into a dating relationship wanting the person we're seeing, going on dates with, to heal us of our past dating relationship. And so now, like, you're not even like guarding your partner's heart.
That's good.
Or guarding your own heart.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get something from that person that you were never meant to get from. I do think that, like, husbands and wives make for great partners, make for great spouses, but they make for crummy gods. Right? So as much as I love you and care about you and all of that, you make for a great wife, but you make for a terrible savior.
Yeah.
You know, as much as you love me, I make for a great husband. I hope make for a great husband.
You do.
But I'm
3 weeks in.
Hey,
I can say.
Gang. But I'm a terrible savior. And I think oftentimes, like, we don't guard our heart because we're looking to idols. We're looking to broken cisterns to, like, fix the brokenness in us. And we're not guarding our partner's heart because we put a weight and a pressure on them that they were never meant to carry.
Yeah.
And so now, like, you have unnecessary problems because you have an expectation of someone that's unrealistic, right? Or the flip side of that is maybe you're not entering into a relationship trying to heal from your past relationship. By the way, like, a telltale sign that you're doing that is when you ask someone, what's your type? And you just name off everything your ex wasn't.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so you just wanted a better version of what you had.
Yeah.
And, like, you don't have other qualities that you're looking for. You know what I mean?
No.
So, but another thing is, like, it's like funny. It's like, oh, my ex was like 5'5". My new man got to be 6'5". You know what I mean? My ex was lazy. My next got to be a hardworking man, right? So you just, like, build a persona based off your pain. You know?
Pain.
And yeah. You literally set yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
You're not guarding your heart when you turn to the wrong thing for saving, for healing, and things of that nature.
I was going to ask you to make that connection. You did. You just did it right now.
What? Sorry.
No, like the guarding your heart piece.
Yes.
You just plugged that.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah. And then on the flip side of it, it's when you, like, get ahead of a person. And I've been also guilty of this. I'll give you an example.
Right.
Like, when me and someone in the past didn't work out, I found myself more heartbroken than I needed to be.
Speak to it.
Not even because of, like...
They're like, did I ever like him like that?
You know what I'm saying? I was like...
Or what they could have been.
Or what
I could have been.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm mourning the fantasy of the person.
For sure.
And not the actual person.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I'm heartbroken because I envisioned a life with someone. And when that vision didn't come to fruition, there was heartbreak.
Yeah.
And so now I'm not guarding my heart because I'm getting ahead of the person. I'm getting ahead of myself. God forbid I'm getting ahead of God. Right? And so, like, it's date 2 and you're already thinking about the wedding.
The kids.
The kids, the house, the things. Right?
Yeah.
You've only been dating for a month. And you're joining bank accounts.
No, it doesn't. Oh, okay. Oh my God. I mean, it's not in my experience.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna speak to your experience.
Yeah. What's my favorite thing to say?
What?
I've seen some things.
Oh yeah. True.
Or, like, I've seen people dating for like 3-4 months, and one person is, like, literally giving their partner thousands of dollars to help them with their business. It's like, do you even like this person? You know what I mean? Yeah.
They love them.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah.
Fix it, Jesus. Maranatha. Lord, come quickly. All right, so that's the flip side of it. Like, you're getting ahead of God. You're getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the ways to guard your heart is to, I get it, because in the Christian circle, we always talk about how date for the intent of marriage.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is
what it is.
which is real, and we must do that. But just because you're dating someone with the intent of marriage doesn't mean every dating relationship will end in marriage, right?
It's a really somber truth. It's really hard.
Yeah, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I think we know that, like, head knowledge. I think we're well aware, but I think if your heart is longing for something or
Yeah.
has waited for something or
Yeah.
maybe been, a long time between, healthy dating
Yeah.
situations, I think it's really hard to hold both truths,
Mhm.
to date with the intention of marriage while also reminding yourself that this may not end up
Yeah.
in marriage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
hard.
Yeah, because like not every good Christian is meant to be your partner. You're called to one,
Right. Yeah.
And I think that like because we are like, oh, it already took a lot for us to get on this date. It already took a lot for us to become a couple.
Right.
I've got to see this to the end.
Right.
I think that's like it's a disservice to you and to your partner, and to maybe what God is trying to ultimately do in you and through the other person, or maybe what God has planned and purposed for the season that you guys are in.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that like, maybe a whole nother podcast episode is talking about like what does it look like to date well, because like if not every person you date ends up being your husband, how do you guard their heart and your heart in a way where you're like mindful of that? So for us, for instance,
So nuanced.
it's so nuanced.
Yeah.
When you and I posted our engagement photos, people were shocked.
Right.
There were people that were like, you were dating, you were in a relationship. Like the amount of people that in my church community were like, where was this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you were with someone
because you're
this whole
their
time.
pastor.
Yeah,
You know?
And
Yeah.
that was like a way of guarding my heart, your heart, and our relationship.
Yeah.
Because and we touched on this in the first episode. We were private, but we weren't a secret. And that was a way to guard our heart, because it would have been really bad if like I post you online, I'm very public, and like, hey, here's my girl, and then we break up. And then now like I'm not just dealing with a broken heart, but I'm dealing with people's expectations being like, I don't even know the word I'm looking for. Like they're, I'm not following through on their own expectations. I'm hurting them. That's why like my parents knew like you were the real deal when I brought you home, because you're the first person in like 10 plus years I brought a girl home. And that's because like I didn't want my mom and dad getting attached. I don't want them to like really like see you, and then you're not in my life anymore, and now like their dreams are kind of broken, and they're a little like sad, and now they're missing you, and there's like this, hey, have you ever thought about getting back with this it's like even guarding my parents' heart and my friends' heart for making sure that like there's not unnecessary pain and hurt, like, and it's just like a bad look to like post someone and then you're not with someone, and then you post another person, then you're not with them, and then you post another person and you're not with them, like how do you even guard your purpose? Because you don't want to be confusing. You don't want to be this guy that's like, oh, I'm just with this girl here.
With girls.
Yeah.
Just out and about with girls.
Yeah.
So what I think I hear you saying is guarding your heart it's a varied amount of actions, right? It isn't just about being present, right? Because we talked about that being a form of guarding our hearts, right? Trying we're not so focused on healing our past or too far ahead of the situation in the future, but being present. But in addition to that, it looks like being mindful of who you bring in or who you let in as a form of guarding our heart, which I agree with. I think I don't even know if when I was being mindful about who to tell and how early to tell, I don't even know if I was doing it for them, to be honest. I think that was a form of guarding my own heart.
Talk about it.
I really care about my inner community's opinions, and I really trust their heart for me. So much so that if I haven't had the chance to think about a thing or process a thing on my own, or maybe with like my mom or something like that, then I can be easily swayed or influenced by, and by easily, not like I don't have a spine or that I don't live by
Yeah.
conviction.
Yeah.
But I recognize an area of maybe like people pleasing or
Right.
overthinking people's opinions, especially when it comes to dating. People are so loud.
Yeah.
Like people have such like strong nonsensical opinions, but because of like the fervor and the passion they have behind their advice, you could easily hear their voice louder than the Holy Spirit's if you're not
Right.
really careful. And so
Right.
that was a form of guarding my heart, was being really mindful of who to bring in early. And then
That's
I
good.
kind of scaffolded after that, and then I was obviously like examining,
Yeah.
like we were dating still, right? So I was examining and I was getting to know you, and as I felt more secure, more confident, and not that I like had anything to prove to anybody, but like why would I bring that many people in, as I'm like still figuring you out, and I think I had gotten to the point where I trusted myself that like I could tell all these people and still walk away
Yeah.
and feel fine,
That's
and
right.
I
That's
feel like
good.
that's when you know to bring people in,
Yeah.
because that's a big thing for me. I
Yeah.
was just like, I think in dating, in being in our 30s and dating, I think I don't know. I don't want to preemptively speak for other 30-year-olds, but like, I feel like most of us have stayed in situations way longer, I think, than we should have, and if it happened to be tied to a friend group or a community group, part of it was like, what will this look like? How will this
Yeah,
impact
that's
people?
good.
Will people judge us for? And when you're fully convicted, it's time to go. And like, you're tied up in the community aspect of it when God is like, leave, you know what I mean, or like, this is not yours. They're for somebody else, you're for somebody else, which is like fine. Ultimately. And so I think having been in those situations enough when I was younger, and I had like a gap where I wasn't in a serious relationship, I think coming into this one, I had to like muster mustered the confidence with the Holy Spirit to walk away at any point in time. And it wasn't until I got to that place that I let people in, because I'm like, just because I'm bringing you in doesn't mean we're making it to the aisle.
That's
I'm bringing it in because I trust you, or I love you, or you've been praying for me, like whatever, because we've built an intimate friendship and friend share. But I think that was a form of guarding my heart, was tempering and timing who I brought in to the dating relationship. Honestly, not so much for them. It was for me. Like they're grown. Like they'll be okay.
Yeah. That's real.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, in light of that, like, what were some of the benefits that you saw in doing it that way?
I think it really did allow me to be present, like truly, because if I'm over here having 19 different, because most of my conversations were one-on-ones. I didn't like show up at a house and make an announcement. I didn't show up at like the barbecue or something, and make an announcement. Like, people I love have been with me, this whole time, and are very invested and care a lot about who I end up with. So I knew it was going to be a lot of one-on-one. Actually, I think all of them were one-on-one conversations, or at least if they didn't live here, it was a text, a voice note, or something. And so, sorry, what was the question again?
Like the benefits of that.
Oh, the benefits. Yeah. I think it just kept my feet planted. If I was over here busy storytelling to everyone who had an ear, like, I would have been so distracted. I'd have been so distracted if I was just like, I don't know, meeting everyone for coffee, like all of them. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even have the time to like be present with you if I was busy trying to field everybody's questions and like navigate their opinions. And so, I mean, I have a beautiful community. They were all very excited, obviously, and nobody gave me like bad advice per se. But I think a lot of how they responded was in response to my confidence in you that I got to build in, privately with just you. So
I love that. One thing that you did. We didn't talk about this before, so I hope it's okay with me sharing the story. We're here now.
Just put me out there.
I just want to like highlight something you did that showed me you cared about guarding your heart too. And it's like a
guarding
little bit
my heart.
The way you guarded your heart.
Oh, okay.
And it's around physical intimacy.
Oh, okay.
Right. So we didn't have our first, and everybody's like convictions are different in this. Like some people wait till their wedding day. Like my cousin just got married, and her and her husband waiting till their wedding day to kiss for the first time, which is really like honorable. That was not us. Our first kiss happened after talking and dating for 3 months, almost 4 months. And I remember like after like talking and dating for 2 months, I remember asking you. I had friends that were baligay, bro. They were like, don't even ask, just go in for the kiss, feel the mood, you know, like go for it. She's gonna respect you, you know, all types of things. Really funny stories. But I was like, you know, I'm just gonna ask before going in. And I remember asking if I could kiss you, and you responded back by saying you weren't ready.
Yeah.
And I want to set you up. You want to like let the listeners in on why you didn't feel ready and what you needed in that moment, because I feel like it was a form of guarding your heart, and even really guarding my heart as to like why you made that decision. Do you remember?
I think so, but
Yeah.
you know, feel free to jog.
Yeah,
feel free to jog my memory.
Yeah.
You know, I think in part, I think it alludes to me like feeling rushed in a lot of like romantic situations, and so
rushed.
right.
That and you, I'll set you up.
Yeah, set me up.
You were sharing that you didn't want physical intimacy.
Without commitment.
Not that, because we were at that place where we were ready to commit.
Okay.
But you didn't want it to blur like what you were feeling.
Yeah.
You wanted to like bring it before the Lord.
Oh,
it before
okay.
The Lord.
Yeah.
You wanted it because you knew if like we kissed,
it confused me.
it would confuse you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just wanted my yes to be sober minded. Yeah. And I mean, maybe people can, you know, like this is not again like prescriptive in any way,
not at all.
but I feel like I knew if we had kissed or we introduced that, you know, into the relationship at the time, like I think knowing me, like I think it would have, it's not that it would have confused me, but I feel like I wouldn't have been sober minded. I would have been like love drunk, you know, where it's like you're just like in the mood and the feeling, and you're not like there's like a lack of awareness or like discernment, you know. And I wouldn't say that's how I've approached situations previously, but I feel like there was a level of seriousness I think that I had when it came to you. I really deeply respected you, and I really wanted to like honor my commitment, and I wanted to make sure like my yes was like a yes with full heart and full mind, and not like emotional, right? Like I knew I had emotions, but I wanted to have control over them until we stepped into that. And so I wasn't ready, and then but when we like went, you know, and made it like for real, then I was like, okay, you know. And I think it's a form of guarding my heart too. It's like that was guarding yours for sure, but I think it was just guarding mine. It's just like I had reached a point where like I didn't want to introduce physical intimacy unless I felt like someone was like really in it with me. Where we were like really gonna attempt, you know, to go the distance, you know.
And that's something like I remember that stood out to me because I remember like maybe not verbatim, but like your response was, you know, I want to make sure that I'm in this. My yes is my yes. And I remember you saying, before I introduce this, I need to bring it before the Lord.
Oh, I did.
Yeah,
I did. I had time with the Lord.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the reason why I respected that was because that, one, showed me how serious you were about yourself. That, like, something that's, like, really attractive to men that we don't talk about enough is, like, when women have high standards for themselves. And so for me, it actually made me more attracted to you, knowing that, like, you knew, one, you were self-aware enough to know, like, what you needed, and two, self-awareness is half the battle. Like, you didn't just like know what you needed, but you drew a line, you stood your ground, and you like walked out what you believed. And you like walked in the conviction that you had. And I remember thinking like, wow, like Ida's really like serious about this, and she's like protecting her heart. She wants to make sure that when she brings us to the Lord, in the way you said it, you were sober-minded, and that you didn't have,
we've been there,
Yeah,
where we're
yeah.
like, just not to interrupt
go
you,
ahead,
but
go ahead.
we've been there where we're just like, I don't know. I don't know what to explain. Where you're just so
Love drunk?
Yeah, like love drunk.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and then at some point you do sober.
Yeah.
You do sober
Yeah,
eventually, and then
yeah.
you're like, what choice did I make when I was love drunk?
But that's true. Like, I think we don't talk about that enough. Like, it's like, do you really
Yeah.
like the person, or are you just like physically attracted to them?
Yeah, or it's just like where it's new, and it's like
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
It's just like vibes.
Yeah.
That goes away
Yeah, it does.
eventually,
It does, it
and
does.
so then
Yeah.
you're like confronted with your choice.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember walking away feeling deeply like, oh, Ida she don't play games.
Mm-hmm.
And then my response to you was also me guarding my heart
Yeah.
and guarding your heart.
Yeah.
So like, I think you were afraid.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I respected. You held your ground, but you still were like, this might cost me.
Yeah, there was a nervousness
Yeah,
in that,
yeah.
I just, you just don't know how people are going to take it.
Yeah, yeah.
They might think you're like doing too much, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
Yeah.
People are so opinionated.
Yeah.
People think everything should happen a specific way.
Yeah.
People are also, whatever, they project. People
Yeah.
project all the time. And so anyways,
Absolutely. Yeah.
all that being said is like, I knew it came at a cost. Like, I didn't know how, or could come at a cost. I
Yeah.
didn't know how you would interpret it. I didn't know, like, if you would respect it, or if it irritate you, it'd bruise your ego, if you'd make it about you,
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
like really understanding that I was making the decision for me.
Right,
I was
right.
taking care of you, but like it was 100% a selfish, like,
No, but I remember
choice.
in the moment
Yeah.
you saying like, I want this for you too.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like for both of us.
yeah.
And again, it's not prescriptive, like in any way, shape, or form, but all of my experiences, all of my lessons led me to that point,
Yeah.
with you. And I feel like, but also who you were garnered extra and like even more intention and caution. Like what little I saw over those few months, I was like, I am not stewarding this.
Yeah.
Like I'm not it's not the same old script, here. Like this is something I already knew it was something special. I
Yeah.
knew you were someone special, and so I was really careful.
I appreciate that because like, again, that was like 2 months into us talking and
Yeah.
dating.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really respected about that is, I think sometimes in the Christian culture, when we talk about guard your heart, it's perceived and received negatively. And
Yeah, it's like have walls and be
Yeah.
hard to reach.
Yeah.
And
But we don't talk enough about how like guarding your heart can be attractive. That guarding your heart could be life-giving. I mean, that is essentially like the purpose of
Yeah.
guarding your heart.
Yeah.
But like, it really does protect yourself and the other person. And what that did for me is it showed me that I could trust you in marriage. I was like, oh, if she's willing to guard my heart 2 months in, what lengths will she go in marriage? You know what I mean? If she was that particular about making sure that she was honoring her convictions and she was wanting to be sober-minded right now, when like, you gotta imagine like 2 months in, like it's all fun. We're going on dates
Yeah.
in LA. We're by the
So
water,
fun.
rooftop, like feelings are high,
Yeah.
desires are high.
Yeah.
And in moments like that, if you can temper yourself, exercise some self-control, and bring God in and protect your heart,
Yeah.
what will you be like when you're married, And so for me, I remember thinking like, my response was like, yo, because you're taking this approach, I know if you come back to me and you're like, this is off the table, I'll trust your decision. And if you come back to me and you say this is on the table, I trust your decision because I trust your process. And your process didn't just protect you, it also protected me. And it was beautiful to witness. And I think that like it's so important because Andy Mineo once said in a song like years ago, he said, be careful who you make memories with because you're more sensitive than you're willing to admit. And that always stood out to me, especially as men. We don't like to talk about how sensitive our hearts are.
Right.
It's like, oh, women are the sensitive ones. But truth be
No.
told, we're sensitive, but it doesn't bleed out.
More sensitive.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
When you started dating.
So serious.
It just like flushes itself out in anger.
Oh.
Right? It's like, bro, you're
Sad.
not that mad.
You're
You're
not.
hurt. And you don't have any other tools in your toolbox to express your emotion. And so your anger, to me, actually demonstrates your sensitivity.
Yikes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you're channeling your emotion through the only emotion that is culturally acceptable for you, right? Or ghosting. Like, even these games we play, like, oh, it took her 2 hours to respond back to my text. I'm going to wait 4 hours to respond back to her text. Like, we play these games, and we think it's, like, guarding our heart and guarding the other person's heart. But it isn't. It's actually, like, pride and self-preservation, which is different than guarding your heart, you know? And so that was, like, really attractive to me about you. And then lastly, we could really do a part 2, part 3 on this.
Yeah, we had to warm up at the beginning.
We had to. We're settling in. We're coming off our honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Even what we brought each other into was like intentional as far as conversation, expressing and sharing weaknesses, struggles, even talking about where we were financially, even like letting each other in on our dreams. Like, you know, man, this could be a whole podcast episode, but it was like you coming in to know like what my dreams, my pursuits, and my heart and my wish and desire was only happened the more serious we got.
Of course, yeah.
Because if I just came out guns blazing,
yeah,
I might have scared you. I probably would have scared you.
So. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, but let me not.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy to hear that.
Let me not say, but I wouldn't advise that for people to come guns blazing. You know.
Yeah, and I'm learning. I've learned this through failure. Like, I remember it was just like a talking stage, talking to a girl one time. It was like maybe our second or third phone call. And I was like telling her some family stuff. And it was such a funny story. I think I scared her.
Really?
We didn't talk after that.
Oh, okay.
that was the last conversation.
Not you getting ghosted.
Yeah, ghosted. But I remember thinking to myself, like, yeah, she right. Like, I had no business, like, being this open this early, you know? But, like, these are lessons you learn. You're like, oh, clock it. Like, you have to test the heart.
Yeah.
You have to, like, assess. You know, like, if you're in a new relationship and you're just jumping off the deep end, you might drown, bro.
Yeah, fair.
It's like, it's okay to be, what's the opposite of the deep end?
Shallow?
It's okay to be on the shallow end.
Yeah.
It's okay to test things out.
Yeah.
Like, put your feet in. You know, like, walk around as a stable.
Yeah.
And then learn how to swim. And I feel like for us, we had to learn how to swim with each other because we both had our own things and we both had our own desires and we both had our own ways of life. Like, one of the things that became apparent to us immediately was we did friendship and community very differently. And so, like, even then it was like, okay, how do we let each other in and navigate in a way that, like, honors the process, but guards her heart, guards my heart. I think that's actually an ongoing conversation that got brought up in premarital. We don't need to get into today.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not today.
Not today.
Yeah.
But all that to say, like, we had to learn each other. We're learning each other. And just because you're dating someone doesn't mean that they're ready for you. All of your traumas and your emotions
every
and
dating
your
experience,
dreams
like
and your credit score. And it's just like, dog, like, ease your way in. You know, ease your way in.
For sure. I mean, I will say, you definitely led that. I feel like you led the pace of that. I think you know, you can disagree with me. Yeah. I think I'm more guarded than you. So, like, you shared certain things, which is hilarious because you said the other situation was early. There are things you shared with me that I was like, oh.
Date one.
That's early, you know? And I don't remember the exact topic off the top of my head, but I do remember being like, oh, yeah, like, wow. He told me a lot, you know? And I was like, he lucky I'm mature, you know? but I remember like, oh, like he really trusts me.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You had already passed I had my own little test. that
yeah.
you-
And then I think with me, I don't know if I matched your pace. I think it was behind you, but I feel like I was still sharing probably more quickly than I probably usually do, but I
Yeah.
still think it was tempered. Like it was
Yeah.
still like a slow rollout. And then I think because you do ask like follow-up questions, there was a level of transparency that I think we got into that probably would not have happened naturally just because I would have just like shared the thesis, you
Yeah.
know, and kept going and been like, I shared, you know?
Yeah.
And because of your follow-up questions, you know, by the nature of who you are, it's like it gave you better understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like also the questions that were asked gave you an opportunity to think about things in ways that maybe you hadn't before.
Oh, for sure.
And on levels maybe that you hadn't before.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Guys, we could easily keep going.
Dang, we're at the end?
We got to wrap this one up.
That's crazy.
I know. It's so easy and fun to do. Let us know in the comment section if you want a part 2. But
I don't even know what part this is. This is part 2, technically.
Oh, you're right. Technically, this is part 2 in that we're continuing
We're talking about dating. Yeah.
Our dating
experience.
relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But part 2 in the sense of like talking strictly about what it looked like
to guard our hearts.
You know. But yeah. You know what? It's just all out there. We don't need a part 2, part 3. We just produce content.
Okay.
I hope this will this served y'all. It benefited y'all, and it was helpful. I hope that was clear. Because Ida and I like we could be very like private, and so like sharing these stories can be very vulnerable. And so on the drive here, we're like, hey, we're sharing these stories with a specific purpose in mind. Mm-hmm. It's to serve people. And
that's
so
helpful framing. And not just to talk on the internet.
Right. Just putting on business style. Yeah. Well, until next time, family, peace and grace. Shaping the code.